Ebusianunti NPP emudi as I said ayede pa na ne akoso no na say flag bearer hopeful na obia nam ha ochina na wenso nam ha na obia de ne nsem a opeso de tuja den tuja de amankofo se ne be ya Ghana fo ebe hu omo visions ne nyamanyama bi a edo omo ni so omo betimi ayede aboa party no no omo se de aboa Ghana man se nyame yo madom no be ye flag bearer for ana se omo be ye sa presidential candidate hopeful na eno na je say ye pushi na eno mu na je say Kennedy Agyapong honorable kese pa ono so ordinary dia aba no ye calculations bi the calculation ni de ni nyina ye tiawa pe opa che say President John Dramani Mahama emra na onya president okotina efie be ye mfie nwotwe no it taking about 8 years na sa 8 years no ne gap anase ne deficit na when to me and when winning here somewhere 1 million and until within the 8 years no to me tina say the recover sa deficit and 1 million deficit ebe toho during the voting period when ya no and until say ye per candidates be amano abedi NPP so a e say ye bisa ye won say si ano nipa ye hwe no deficit ahe no wo now shall we stray bullet pa ayeko Emma Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say oh no as I check so the deficit is 1.7 million and this yeah the bet na say na ya share sa calculation and yes find x find y yanko ni enkoti ono ani enu mu nsem na afede yembra na yento aso Ebusianunti egusu ya chese ye hwehwe sa interesting video no e de ama se ne be ya won so obetimi ahwe ne wehu nsem a efi ono a Kennedy Japan enum e de bai na me producer ama me prompt ne say wehu video ne yenko tie
yanko pon di bo ni pata se bia wo so bi oji so abi e fe e yo fe se wo kun enya dwuma ye ana wo ba nya dwuma ye a mpo wo na amodin ma edachi it took him 8 years. Obi lose 1.7 million there. If 1 million is equal to 8 years, therefore 1.7 million is equal to what? X. Find X. Find X. Yeah, and if I can, Omo post say Mahama Atimiyako Waba. After 8 years, Wasa. Okay, good. So if you are using that approach, Mahama or the 1 million votes deficit and a quarter year, and what the 8 years and into 1.7 million votes deficit, you know. I have years in that Uncle national 1.7 million votes deficit. Tabe na beti obisi na na beti si as obisi akanai. Akanai. Mahama lost with the votes of 1 million. It took him 8 years. Obi lose 1.7 million there. If 1 million is equal to 8 years, therefore 1.7 million is equal to what? X. Find X. Yanko pon di bo ni pata se bia wo so bi oji so abi e fe e yo fe se wo kun enya dwuma ye ana wo ba nya dwuma ye a mpo wo na amodin ma edachi ebetimi amwadi hie ma edachi ebetimi amwadi hie di nyame party welfare nyame we need to build this party okay and you will some asie and listen. Can you believe that? A 5 contestants, what was it? Development, Obia make 4 million. 4 million because party no any capital. 80 me farm 400,000. Me farming 500,000. Now man, me no me feel so good diablo. Iti man fa anko. I want a branch back, but Kabu Maso. Now 4 million on the buy. Now I'm saying 4 million. I joke like, look, and then Samewa, your mom a deadline, set on the 5th, a deadline to bring my 4 million. So I have to give them 4 million. Yes. And he filing, contesting as a flag bearer 4.6 million. They said, any young casa, any my contractors here. And come, moving on my business for Jessica Bryan to Jim. Oh, look, let's have a movie.
Ebusia ya the X and Y no cry at Tunchaya on a book and the Japan a patch say about no filing of forms, any picking of forms, any who just any more mobile crampono. Says ya no who say what when latest discovery we who no crano and then him got see a pa say MBB coffers and say I see one city crane coffers nimo. Coffers nimo ya dry say she animo and unti. Wow, yeah, aspirant, our person obey a presidential hope for next year. No, utia or filing fee, now utia or nomination fee. We are. Yeah, the fufrobia by a friend developmental fee. Now, no, so wait to the account. Nana, my call about the bus studios has say, now, young fan fear see a free some mathematical calculation. Na Kennedy Japan, the Amayano. What shall find X no? But your ex no when catch
yeah, definitely. So in draft, me personally, you know, I had to actually find X. So for those of us, you know, it was going a fill mask. Even though we a simple way mathematics, the other solve a simultaneous equation.
Okay.
And you know, if 5 equals to 7, and then if 5k equals to 7 and 10k, if 5k equals to 7. Then 10k equals to what? You know, in terms of a calculation, what we use a friends and the idea friend a simultaneous equation.
Okay.
But then maybe encore a year. So yesterday, the me and say I dropped it into ChatGPT. I'm going to ChatGPT say, this is exactly what is really going on. This is what came in Japan.
So help us to
so
find
help
it.
us. And indeed, no, a year. ChatGPT did well by giving me the answer.
Okay.
And Chibi, I think said but 2 screens. So, but far from that, you know, I think in Japan is doing a great job. But I think say, you know, he should be very careful as to what he's doing.
Okay.
You see, in
is it what he's saying or what he's doing?
Everything that he's doing.
Okay.
Pose if he musa dankwa ho eba air patch say Bawumia is favored the leader.
Okay.
If Bawumia is favored the leader. Now we use that same tactics now to get about 30% of the vote last year, last 2 years. Abraham call primaries now.
Yeah.
That tactics might fail. Number one, it is because of various Niema Akosu. One of the things you also have to know is that Bawumia will call general elections that.
Okay.
Or 1-0.
Okay.
In terms of the other candidates, scores, he's been marketed across the whole country.
Yeah.
Ken is popular.
Even the whole world.
The whole world. What you see? So Bawumia ebano say obi or track record. And your track record say okay.
Ebi a waye bibi
ni adi. But then obi a the name Adele.
Yeah.
Bawumia. And what is even more shocking is that in all of this global info analytics. Omu post neba out a yebisa and say between Kennedy, Japan, and Bawumia, who is your preferred candidate?
Okay.
Omu nyina say over 50% say omu ye den omu fele a year Bawumia.
Over 50%.
Over 50%. Okay. Which means that Bawumia can literally say me kwaye campaign be me win. Now let's put this on the screens. Can I can say me or say Mahama lost by a vote difference of 1 million, and it took him 8 years. But someone has lost 1.7 million. So if 1 million is equal to 8 years, then 1.7 million equals to S. Find X. Now, I'll show you the reason why this calculation and analogy is wrong. So Ken said this in response to a Bawumia new slogan, or more part say aka 9 pe.
Okay.
So yeah, this is chat GPT say, let me give you this equation. Or say thought for a few seconds. Nice one, simple proportion. Work it out step by step. And also 1 million equals to 8 years. 1.7 million equals X years. So definitely you'll be used as a baseline for this, what we call simultaneous equation.
Okay.
Or you use simultaneous equation. Basically, what he did was 8 equals 8 times 1.7 equals 2. And on one year, the obey you're the obeying and say, or you need about 13.6 years. And also convert 0.6 to 0.6 year to 2 months.
Okay.
Then what you have is 7.2 months. So at the end of the year, to take Bawumia 13 years, 7 months for him to actually become president.
Okay.
Which means he has almost 3 terms. What I say, which means NDC before 2 terms. I'm a mass answer for 1. Exactly. So a band calculation there, Ken can say you better find X and I say you can 1.9 and I can 9 per you used to it.
Okay.
But one of the things you also have to notice that me refer more. US President Donald Trump, he also lost by a huge margin.
Okay.
US President Donald Trump, he lost by a huge margin. And then why not president?
He is.
You see, you can never predict tomorrow. What I would rather enthuse the camp of Agyapong to do is that to sit down and say, Global Info Analytics, last time I predicted Agyapong will get somewhere around 28-30%. So, a buy, you got 34 whatever percent.
Okay.
So Ken have really proven himself. Now that same tactics last 2 years, I don't think those same tactics will work. What I want Ken to do is to sell his message.
Now then, I would GD say Enye Juma because probably what worked for him before, it can work for him again. And
so you see, the Ghanaian have grown.
Okay.
Bawumia, so time and now only Bawumia Aircono. Bawumia was not the flag bearer.
Okay.
You were contesting to be the flag bearer. Subsequently, Bawumia became the flag bearer.
Okay.
Paul said, "By a crash, as a working in Japan, if you have stood in, you will have still lost the elections." Do you get what I'm saying? Paul said, "Na eba HSL in Japan, so who standing as a flag bearer, still the new patriotic party will have lost the elections." So what it means is that you see, and in Japan have been Bawumia have been marketed.
Okay.
So our same strategy now used some years ago. It might not necessarily work this particular year.
Okay, let me take it.
Hold on,
your own words. Okay.
Hold on.
Right.
And aside from that, to now, what kind you can about Bawumia?
Okay.
Ghana phone you say Bawumia incompetent, blah blah blah. Okay, sorry, $1 near the day.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we want to ask someone, say, Ken, message ben our can at all so. We need to be asking the meaning the obit my year. But be a shake crass no. They be or to say bashi Bawumia.
So are you saying say Ken on can say obey be concrete?
He said something that he would do. But one of the things you also have to notice that some of us know.
Okay.
What about the layman on one social media?
Okay.
Or we former delegates. They be what second about me. So I think Ken going to these regions, in as much as he wants to incentivize the voters, re-energize them, and assure them that he's capable of the work. I believe, sir, the core priority of all of this should be him selling his idea.
Okay.
Kwame Nkrumah did not become president by every day attacking the white people in charge. He sold his idea, freedom. Let's take charge of our resources. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So Ken should know where he stands.
Okay.
Any of the idea. What you say? Saw your message because Find X near the idea. Find X was trending on Twitter. The manufacturing idea of Agyapong was not trending on Twitter.
Okay.
So he sold Find X.
But he has not sold any of his messages or what he can do.
There is this particular popular runner way back, I think 1970s to 80s.
Okay.
On and on, the fastest runner. The or American. The first time he lost, Omu racing na guy be a new chap what bars on so journey pa.
Okay.
But mu racing or than the nisha kwana ben. It's not person or make it so be beating akwa.
Okay.
Into all sha akwa omunya on the same lane na akwa beating by a millisecond.
Okay.
Into the next 4 years Olympics ne ba no. Even Olusi we now more prepare for the next 4 years Olympics no. And the coach, no, a catcher and he said, "Do you know why he lost?" No, said Debbie. Also, you did not lose because you were not able to compete, and I said you didn't match up to him. You lost because you did not run your race.
You were looking at.
According to coach, that time now or Danny if the opponent or pan one on pan, that millisecond slowed him down.
Slowed him down. Okay.
Into this time around, or co-race in the next 4 years, Olympics, when he was running, he did not check.
He didn't even look behind him.
Okay. So Ken right now should strategize as a person, should come back hard, and perhaps I know say these little jabs here and then, but then a bit fair enough say Bawumia be punch it. Now at the end of the day, also why they want respond.
Okay.
Because Bawumia, once again, I believe say Bawumia can sit down and still win. Or bit make us on your campaign. He will win the elections.
Oh, you're very sure about that. And you made mention of Assembly can say, pools be by out ma facts finding be say anka Kennedy Agyapong no jinama NPP anka omubelusu still. But the question will be say in Komubelusu no would they have lost with the margin or Luciana?
Very, they will have lost with the same margin. The reason why he would have lost with the same margin was so simple. You see, MPP over the years have not been an attractive party.
Okay.
We've all seen what have happened to the New Patriotic Party.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because recently, by elections, scratch it.
Exactly. So the MPP party itself, not any in a position now. Your friend is saying a bit attractive for us.
Okay.
So more people were pissed off. E-levy, so these were major concerns of the Ghanaians. Most people felt neglected.
So is it that the Ghanaians felt we're not having a listening government?
Oh yeah, definitely. That is one of the most contributing factors. At this same way in Abai. So MPP itself, I remember actually talking to one guy, and I make catch and he said MPP was going to lose the elections. Say Ija one more abrochi, only one more kasa. Now catch said this is the situation on the ground. Usually they tell you so, and and I remember some people speak to me, me catch so. MPP be lose and yen the pull up Pinaxtv abrochi catches MPP lose and MPP lost. The same time to Madame for be friend can say Agyapong will lose the 2023 presidential primaries. Also pull Pinaxtv and yen no ultimately he lost. In the end he woke room has see. Exactly. A woman say news never to meet Martin first, I send my WhatsApp. But then trust us, I work rumors and I work ground in the air course.
Okay.
And this particular election is air course of flag bearership election is air course. And this particular flag bearership election is air course. It is one thing I just say, we all know in the day, If there's something I think about Bawumia in Agyapong, one of them stand to win.
One of them definitely will come out.
Yeah.
The question is who?
Yeah. If you can share this particular video of what Ken sent again, to us.
So I be a friend a your friend. So who come in your Jumaya and now bang your Jumaya and Poguna and Modin Ma Adachi, everything I'm what here. Ma Adachi. Everything I'm what here. The Yami party welfare in Yami. We need to build this party. Okay? And you will say, and listen. Can you believe that? A 5 contestants, what was it development? Ubia bet we have 4 million. 4 million because party any capital. 80 me farm me 400,000. Me farming 500,000. Now man, me no me feel so good diablo. Iti man fa anko. I want to branch back but kabu maso. Now 4 million on the buy. Now say 4 million. I joke like look. And then Samewa, me yama deadline. Say on the 5th, a deadline to bring my 4 million. So I have to give them 4 million. Yes. And filing, contesting as a flag bearer 4.6 million. na say any yankasa any do ma contractors ya enka mo be jina o na BC for chisika bra yentimi jebi o ko peta mo be
Ebusianfo enunti we de sikakrabia bad time wo Ghana ha say Bank of Ghana de notice be ababonten na yenim say we have other online platforms any nkofobia omo running financial organizations omo boa say na be ya omo wa brochwe dodo na ombetumi nso asene sene omo wusianfo nyama nkakra bi se na be omson be check omo how far but notice here be ye patch say nkofobia ye ne omo partnership organizations ba kumienu bi omo ye very popular bi to say tap send ne nkeka ho ni nyina no ye revoke omo partnership ana say omo remittance or nkrata omo di adwuma ni nyina ye GF omo nsem enu ti yenko read the exact notice free Bank of Ghana and some yes press release logo so and boho kama yes for immediate release suspension of remittance partnership of tap send top connect remit choice send up and affix effective September that is 18 2025 make sure say by Monday the Bank of Ghana has suspended all the remittance partnership of the following money transfer operations into money transfer operations for nana yabobo bomudino for a period of 1 month into encha dan chesa bosome ba ko peni ye de ahwade ye di kan tap send ne so mienu top connect ne so miensa remit choice and a send up and a affix meaning omumu bia we use to there but me sure say those of you who are outside no probably you have sent money to your family member, your friend or your relative with any of these platforms no or say this is as a result of various breaches of the updated guidelines for inward remittance services by payment service providers 2023 as amended by Bank of Ghana notice number BG /GOV /SEC/2025 /25 enti omo patch say we nyina no ade a ewo kwan mu ewo ne nkrata semu esan say omo entumi enni niama bi so se ne esese nkomo ye no nti sana akoba these MTOs conducted unauthorized remittance activities with PSPs enti omo ye niama bi a ensese ankomoye ananiama no moye no na emfa kwan mu nti na tintini ne tietia no nti Hogs Financial Technologies Limited, Cellulance Limited and Flutterwave Line through their settlement bank UBA Ghana. The aforementioned MTOs shall be permitted to re-engage in remittance activities only upon the reapplication by their partner PSPs or banks for the Bank of Ghana consideration following the expiration of the suspension period. Into your patch say 1 month no ebe ya na say still no mo pese omo ye adwuma na omo send di omo nyuma e wo kwan a omo ye no so dada na just omo fa application foforo na omo apply na omo trotro ho nyina omo filling krata asem ema ye hu zampa dia omo pese ana dia omo boost no omo ye kwado say omo be sisa niam mo be sachira niam mu dia ene no no omo apply ne ye hwe mo nkata asem ne hu say omo se fata ye betumi asan amo omo start ejuma a omo ye no na sa enkofo yi enkofo a MTOs no na chese omo ye nkofo there are organizations that you see aside the bank no Western Union they are yenim no na opese sometimes you don't even want to go to the bank, sometimes you don't want to use your bank app, you just want to use BBR things very simple aba obia used to be enti sana sa financial organizations we mo omayenana enti this is the notice every Bank of Ghana and some about we no does it have a way of affecting yeah livelihood nkofo a mo wa brochi nkofo mo Ghana ha ohwa the effect be bana.
Yeah, so what I just said, this is not the first time I tapped send the Bank of Ghana actually a Agyapong license.
Okay.
It has happened for the first time
Okay.
and it has happened again. So basically, a ban is here, which means each and every time they update the rules and regulations. It's the rules and regulations are more updated, This time around, these a medium and our channels amount for seniska or media transaction.
Okay.
It could be because of taxes, it could be because of a major other issues.
Okay.
But these are some of the basic things causing all of these issues. So Aban is saying one of the things that they will usually do is to make sure within this particular time, they will look at the necessary things also more no solve it. Because regardless, these are companies almost taxes.
Of course.
These are companies who have employed people, who have employed Ghanaians near the day, and they also provide services and also pay their fair share of the taxes. So it is an idea what would I say? I think they will do something about it. And yes, because you can't pull this and expect your friend is saying Spotify to come and do their job. So at Spotify to come and open in Ghana, it is not basically going to happen.
Okay.
So at I say exactly.
Now, Osha in terms of livelihood, Osha and say people who are outside will look for alternative means of sending money. Because we are very used to maybe any of these platforms. Never set up send, for instance. Are very popular. We are used to it. And maybe all switchy. Let's say the usual bank system, the usual Western Union, it's going to be a bit. Banking system is a bit cumbersome process.
So the issue is usually a woman notice here a rectification.
Okay.
What yes, I mean, tap send can even sue the Bank of Ghana to reinstate them whilst the address issue. So me a bank.
Okay.
What's my phone member? Me believe it's a me phone member.
Okay.
And I also was shutting me down. And I'm see baby, what it you? And I'm see baby, me here. And I'm the work courts. Say, me shows my baby. Into whilst we are trying to solve issues here, battle or courts, Obeka say me say I'm based on this now me major license. During that same period, we have to be in business because if we finish. Now the end of the day, me fault and I mistake. So that period now my so tap send can actually sue the Bank of Ghana. Even the Bank of Ghana have right to pull the plugs. A similar thing happened with if I say brew marketing, which is a subset of men's gold, and also Pakwesi Indum, the gold trading now. So it does happen, but here I think it's just temporary for maybe 24 or 48 hours.
But this one they stipulated is going to be for a month.
Yeah, even if it is a month, still something can be done about it because there are alternatives.
Okay.
What I say, there are alternatives, and they are not a platformer or more this can keep iska. They are not a savings and loan and security and they are just a medium.
Okay.
There are many mediums that will chroma say.
Nana, do you think Bank of Ghana would take such an action without not say my ampa ebiana omunia maybe no
of course, yes.
directive
there could be errors.
Okay.
We've seen time and time again, so there could be errors. So Bank of Ghana might think say in here they are doing something papa. Auditors report there could be errors, there could be mistakes, a whole lot of things. We don't know what is really going on in there, but then there could be errors.
And do you think there could have been another way of solving this and not necessarily this suspension of their remittance, Anna?
Yeah, there are many ways but then this is what Bank of Ghana is saying. So let's see what will happen. So now can say within a month, and believes that before the month will happen, then maybe something better will happen.
All right. And share in other news. Now, before we do that, so we will be out use any of these platforms and now I are very much aware from the 18th of September, it's no longer going to be active. Now what down so any other alternative no way you so now I'm nipa also be sending is cano. I aware. It's answer who here a pa ya Ghana han. What I send is any all right, Nana. The next story. the next story and call the next story. So, and I think in one of the stories now, an interesting organization be about more if I'm a tribal tank. Now, tribal tank for a day new chip be a card be about a very innovative. Now, say I can't arrow omo bridge once a managana for omo quinto once no yenfa way and chip it in. So tribal tank for I introduce a new form of chip be a non flash card. Sa flash card no bois Emma in Confosian languages in Kola painful, especially by the Enkola there. But we a peninsula who name especially the Tree language, but so far there's not only the Tree language and my research is ama Igbo Kasampo no ebika some other very popular African languages they have it on the flash card. One of the parents eko to be the man now we're experimenting with who senior etie and I think say idea good pa because in kofo bebre na no ya na etaka ye kan brofo dodo ye manusua brofo dodo nanso ya na ye twi no omuntumi hu ka we die tribal tank for air boauma amomu so mosia the Tree language ye nkwohwe senior card no etie okay
Preco. I received a package from Tribal Tongue, I believe, and is flashcards that you can use to learn Tree. And my son has got it right now. I've already opened the package and I've already charged it. So can you show them what the package looks like? Okay, so this is what it looks like.
This is what it looks like, and it's from Tribal Tongue. Tree talking flashcards.
Do you want to open it and show them what is in there? What does it come with?
It comes with this charger and these instructions, and then this thing where
The machine.
the machine where you have to take it out and then press and hold.
Press and hold and put it on.
Hello, let's learn some Tree.
Okay, so it comes with 2 flashcard sets. We are going to take one out. Whoops. And then let's see how it works. Kanyo, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, put one in. So you slot it in. The other way.
Okay, look.
Yep. Slot it in.
Carmine,
Say it.
Carmine.
Carmine.
And then there's another one on this side.
Okra,
Okra.
Should we try another one?
Yeah.
Put the other one in.
Anoma,
Repeat it.
Anoma.
Anoma.
Anoma. And this one. The cow.
Nenchi,
Menchi.
Nenchie.
Menchi.
Nenchie.
Nenchi. Plop.
Aponche,
Eponche.
Aponche.
Eponche.
Turn the other side. Put it in.
Efrum Ponko,
Efron Ponko.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Preco,
Preco. Guys, this is great. I'm going to tag him and you guys go and have a look at what he's got on his page. This is fantastic. Tribal, what is it called again? Tribal Tongue. This is fantastic. Honestly, this is amazing. Thank you so much for sending us this. We are going to be using this definitely to improve our tree. Thank you.
Thank you, Tribal Tongue.
Abusia no nti tribal tank for new device or media banana when you patch say in simple and chetia enya de kra uhia wifi na data bia no an say wa charge o charge wi enso ana che say obetime use for 6 hours and more enya de enso a screen bia obetime ka say be phone na iPad that be it doesn't have any screen like that no an say ebe ma voice no inti eka tree na eka word na ama sound ebi aboa na ye inti se ne yetie ye no yete anoma na Nana, what do you have to say concerning this one?
I think this is a very good initiative.
Okay.
Earlier this week, I was having a convo with your colleague, Brana. We were speaking about the Gan Adangbe. I don't know if it was with you. I'm sure. Okay, or no.
Okay.
We were having a conversation about Gan Adangbe, Gan Manche.
Okay.
In a initiative for the Abbasi and Yentre. Gan Adangbe, all friends and schools that were Greater Accra. And I was saying, that thing is already in existence, and it did not work because you need school or buying school, they are not more local language, what they were privy to were just Gan.
Yes.
It be more just away. It be a
tree, yeah.
Especially the government schools, private schools in there. We are lucky because a private school, no.
Yeah, the French,
aside from French, say a local language, foreign, local, no.
Yeah, you get to choose.
You choose exactly. But then Ghana, you know. Not Ghana, so optional. But see, no information on the buy and say.
Any mandatory.
And I make I say. French cry is your crown up to now green Timinka.
Bon
Exactly. Intiminka. So what they need to do is to start actually doing things a bit mama heading. Omwakasa no language be omakono. And then now share a TikTok generations aba and our young people are sana nano mekan. You can meet someone. Your friend was saying, oh, your friend me Priscilla abate. Oh, abate they said God dangbi. Tattoo your thing. Saying, oh, please, I don't speak it. I'm very sorry. It's only cheek, a little bit English.
A little bit of
exactly. What you say? But at the end of the day, ni so in crane. The same thing for our cans.
Yeah.
There are girls these days. I know mokasa. Mi pacho mintichi. Exactly. So our language, is diminishing. So what you say? So we need to find ways and means a bit because maybe American as a culture. When you lose your language,
you've lost
you've lost your heritage and then your whole thing. So you don't want to lose your language. Imagine Asante in the next 50 years, Asante country, Cambrofo, who Asante on teach, which means what to culture. If you lose your language, you lose your culture.
Now you don't have any secrets anymore. It's answered. They are
exactly. So what's one of the things now you're suggesting? I didn't actually suggest it, but this is one of the initiatives. In Kofu omuyi yomu abruchi Tesla and omutim no. Tesla car no mutim no omu abruchi.
Okay.
Omu abruchi pu no msi debi. Omu tank omu kasa na accent kama they still want to maintain.
Then they need to learn their local language.
Exactly. So they are really happy to do that. I just say omo way. So one of the initiative I personally think is something that must be adopted. What is we na nyeshe abofra no so no maye no.
I thought the dear go be
we near man also man happens to be a friend is a goat.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a ponche. Moo cow. Okay, so cow is an entry
okra.
So what I say exactly. So it goes it goes on that particular tangent. I think they doing this will really be a very good help. So
the way it is let's look at affordability. Something that people can easily access financially.
Oh, the accessibility in the sure is of commercial now.
Okay.
So what your friend is saying, companies do is that on their product, first of all, on their what we call testing and on their piloting at a particular place. It's, they will send it to people, use it and give us feedback before they roll out. Because there's something in it, and I said there's something wrong. As a person, said that notice here.
Okay.
It is a notice here now. On last scale now the number one. If why a production maybe what package are you going to recall it and do a new one or what? The comment they will review it.
Okay.
No one will feedback, improve upon this. This is okay because you can't actually see all the corners of an item.
Yeah.
In terms of where how good or how bad. But all the men their responses will basically give you a friend is saying the way forward to go and how perhaps one can be. So it's just one of those things. I think it will really help. We need to do these things to make sure at the end of the day our language, it kind of survives. If you lose your language, basically you lose your culture.
Okay. Nana, what answer me on accessibility, but I think that people would want to research more on it. So let's move on to other stories. Now, tribal tank for my idea. Me sure say in channel say mo in crying. There's any way I bet me abo oba care ni na sifo ni na. All right, so moving on to other stories. Na just say suggestively no and allegedly no. Paul Adomocho, media personality here, but say it's likely said there's another by-election looming around. Just saying, Chebia, na yeba sign aye by-elections for na we no dear no, and yet to say bia nipan ewu and say bibi, but for so we di in sema just so Ghana concerning sports in particular no the draw Ghana and just a chat recently I think 3 days today or match ni mono and penny back on so football fanatic or no so do football pa or chance so your commentator a lot of the time no to me and a passion for football and very high and no patches there course so was Chad Ghana match ni mono. The blame shouldn't only be given to the minister. It's an saying for ekase and a minister of sports ebe kasai ebe addressi bonuses say ya reduce bonuses at a point in tianuna discourage players na ma players na jada bonus okay regardless of that no we can't blame the minister a febino so as I say ya di blame no about players ni yenko ti ono anu masem na fide ba.
I also noticed an attempt to sort of link the results directly to the comments by the Minister of Youth and Sports relating to the budget in the build-up. Look, I am one of those convinced beyond a doubt that the minister's timing and communication and everything was not strategic enough. I don't think that the time he chose to speak about the budget in the manner that he did in the pursuit of transparency was good enough. I think he took too much attention away from the football. But two things can be true at the same time. You can have problems with the timing of the minister's announcements and pronouncements, and you can also be convinced that that is not a reason why professional footballers paid handsomely to play football will be so bad in the second half of a game and play as if there's nothing at stake when there is a World Cup qualifying place at stake. These same players knew way before this arrangement of 5,000 when you win a match and the rest prorated into a qualification bonus way before. They've played games against Madagascar, against Chad. They've won handsomely in that process. So I'm not sure that was a particularly influential factor in the way they played. But even more frightening is that if a revelation of their bonuses and the rest could cause this kind of display, then we have the wrong set of people on the pitch trying to do it for Ghana. So I don't think the minister should have done what he did in the timing that he did. He could have done it way earlier. I am convinced beyond a reasonable doubt, but it's a bit too much to try to suggest that is the reason we played the way we did. Hopefully against Mali, it's all changed and we do much better than we did against Chad.
Ebusianfo anu nti we ensem a ora Michael Oti Eje edit to her concerning recent football results at Ghana any chart for a boy no na or patches say wo mu say the sobo no ebo minister no nanso enye say ye di ni nyina bebo no ye hwemu a ne fa bi no players no nso no mo ye professionals enti nyama bi wo ho no ma sika ya te suka kre bi nti ense say no etumi ema mo ball no in the second half poorly. You don't know, see, according to new observation, it looks like the first half they did really well, but during the second half of the match, and I don't know who said that, but I say like a desika attitude be air banana way there. Obi besides say what ora Michael Kano. Does he have a point? They are all Kano to say no cre a woman I said no cre be any. Why do you blame no Emmanuel in this?
So this is one of the renowned sports journalists
yeah.
And he's lived through 2006 Ghana. I called Germany. I qualified for our first World Cup. Even before that, he need the football. Now there's a question and an issue about timing in all of this. You know, the boys played so poorly, and we want to know the reason why this happened, because these same boys are they play so poorly, you know. Ebra chat it's almost a 5-0 a day. So what really went wrong? And him and as a nation, you know, where did we fall here? And as a GFA, now one amount 4 points say, you know, sika de a motivating factor. And I'll say that with a setting to say even high Jumakrano at a point in time when things aren't going on as we want it to be. And you'll be an also temperaments, no people's attitude flinch and changes.
It changes.
To be say sika 70 bia obi ohwa asemanka was all catch and as attitude and was all done it no or better it because only sa temperaments na or they says
now bed tolerate
exactly so issues akosi we akosi on tias to some people sika duma na say jumani jana is and also almost whatever they are putting inside they do. So people, the argument was that okay, this whole thing air course in terms of this whole football thing, no, you could match and I'm published say see no, the players they say more a bonus so. At I say, so bonus now they are all the more. Yesterday I said it and I'll say it again. So bonus nisa because my player. Say $5,000, say $10,000 per week, which amount for say more than that. But then more $10,000 it's because these players no, they are taking that a week.
Okay.
Weekly, so match, they are being paid.
Oh, okay.
Aside from that, so more so these players for first class plane ticket. So no any plane ticket in and out in Kwan, a bit more cost about $5,000.
Okay.
Hotel in your money more better. It is all money be big Kwana said you one man and says, oh, even though we are giving you this. We are working. We are adding in proportion, and as we are doing the thing in a maximus approach. Maximus approach. HS say okay. So if you're able to reach level, you say our level 8.
Okay.
So you do level 7 now. Say 10,000 now. You be 15,000.
Okay.
You do level 6. I say 15,000. Be 20,000. That maximus approach, it help.
Yeah.
But then so now at the end of the day, no, one yes, our maximums are sorry, and the players on so I bet you also to me. The players could have won this match easily. I'm sure
they could have won
air tactics. Air tactics. So when him so meet match. I say, Ben go for TTA sika so entrum bibi kaka. And in the past that worked. You've seen players, Ghana Blasters players play lackadaisically on the pitch. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They play lackadaisically on the pitch. And these kind of things, you know, happens when they believe, say, they are not being treated fairly.
Well,
so at the end of the day, it happens. And I believe, say, just one of those things. I'm person they check on BB kakra. Yeah, so some happy winning bonuses now. Next time they will give them 6 goals. So in some Odika, there are issues that also must solve it, and that is why in everything we call something communication. Communication is very important. How you handle these things, no, go a long way to shape the organization.
Okay. So on the communication now, okay, your Minister of Sports, Kofi Adams, no, obi bisa say, timer or babe can't no. Should he have waited a bit till Abia Oma Bobo and Ewie and sana and I said time ben sen ko bekano because it looks like right now one of the things people are questioning is the timing of his communication. Now, yenim say PR wise, no, you have to be very, very sensitive about it. Say, oh, breaking information be at a particular time. So would you say it's or no? So one yana femudie a honum based on the time and
he wanted everything to be plain. But in as much as you want things to be plain, so okay. Ghana for he says skinny or minim and yes, time sika aquama players no made in fufu. Yeah, Chelmo say resetting agenda near. Yeah, we understand exactly where you are coming from. Okay, but then once again, you know, the timing of it is very important. I didn't make us these players, no, you see, I don't know, Akabe matches back uni qualify you.
Okay.
And you see, I want to show me no. They can make or make you. These players they fail to qualify. Massa. Nothing sports. Yes, nothing sports for them. Nothing really sports for them. It's any person qualify na eja e kronuma because ye matches and I bobo near the ade a krum ekoso. There's something we call ripple effect.
Yeah.
The ripple effect here is the fact say at the end of the day, a bomb match na bit maton merchandise.
You
beat me aye DSTV force to be nyesika betting for so it's a triple effect. Enije crab beefy. At the end of the day, obiara be fini abehwinti and ebusuan for betina together na ehwe match na ade ade. Ba repi omu jesse Ghana flag yi. Itema exactly baby but at the end of the day, if all of these things that don't go on, at the end of the day, you will see say there will be one of this particular triple effects so I think say the way they go about it, they should find a way at the end of the day they can communicate these particular issues very clearly. That is one of the things they see. So me no pay on social media 50 months there should be a better form of communication. Exactly. That is exactly what we are looking for here in this particular country. Yeah.
All right. And see, no, with regards to Ghana Black Stars, Ora Michael, Otia J, Dia, or the Amaye, no, Yan call in some for so and then also Yan share their air coastal. But I know that some Ghanaians are very, very passionate about Ghana Black Stars. And see, most of them are quite sad. A lot of us are sad, but I know that don't be sad. A bit of encouragement, me sure as time goes by, they will pick up the pieces. And a Bloomberg for so they are in the news. Is that in our reports, according to Daily Graphic for SC, Bloomberg are recording. I can say Ghana City is the worst performing currency in the entire world. And it is not what Bloomberg for a pese or mokano pempe say Ghana City is not the worst performing in
and one of the things on this particular Bloomberg report I could see there's been concerns and also issues about how the Ghana City fall, how it is going to impact it. So there are big questions among Fuibisa. Say where did this whole thing, where is all this thing heading
coming
towards?
From,
But we know where it's coming from, but where is it heading? That is one of the big things cost currently. Right. So there are questions into that. So when we got up, Bloomberg just came out with an analysis, Bloomberg analysis on Monday banner part say this particular seed, is now the worst performing currency. But then Honorable Zuhini has a different take about this, or part say it is not really so. You could see somebody to do.
So I saw the Bloomberg story, Boro. I saw the Bloomberg story, and maybe Paul will help me. My English may not be that good. The headline for the Bloomberg story was Ghana City's world-beating performance upended by impulse surge. This was a Bloomberg headline. Right. I'm saying my English is not good because I don't know how upended easily translates into West City. Yeah. Exactly. That's why I'm saying that I follow the news and I noticed something interesting that I don't understand why many may have missed it. Yeah. Because this was the Bloomberg story. But then the graphic online, I don't know whoever is the editor, picked this Bloomberg story and the headline was Ghana City is worst performing city, Bloomberg, and attributed it to Bloomberg. But Bloomberg didn't report that. But the Daily Graphic, the Ghanaian-owned Daily Graphic, chose a headline, attributed that headline to Bloomberg, but Bloomberg didn't have that headline. What agenda was whoever set it at the graphic? I don't know. But I think there was clearly an agenda being set at the Daily Graphic, which beats my imagination that a government-owned, broadcasting outlet will set such a negative agenda. Because you see, like Paul says, anybody who Googles today may most likely come across the Daily Graphic headline that is attributed to Bloomberg, even though Bloomberg did not report that. Bloomberg headline was Ghana's city world-beating performance upended by import surge. And the story is here. It says, a surge in demand for dollars by companies paying for imports before year-end holiday season has ended the Ghanaian city's world-beating performance. So the meaning of appended is even explained in the first paragraph. The high performance of the city, Bloomberg is saying, has simply, stopped. And it is as a result of high imports for the upcoming holidays. The second paragraph says the currency of Africa's biggest gold producer weakened 13% so far this quarter, the biggest decline globally, according to data compiled by Bloomberg. Thus erased some of the city's 50% gain that was underpinned by a stronger bullion price and saw it ranked as the world's best performer in the 3 months through June. So nowhere in this story has Bloomberg said the city is the worst performing city. Where?
We have lot of narrative na aye bebre we Canada we so Canada and I just say be mo deny be mo so accept the fact say it might be true, but from the NDC quarters no almost say there be so far as that was not the caption generated by Bloomberg themselves, no not just say editor no no Daily Graphic no be ana gatekeeping agenda bi wo hon mo no pese or sell it out enunti no so ye no hu esa or bisa say editor no so oni and this for wasema na ana oni President John Dramani Mahama ne wasem na wekukuru ade no echinchim no esanse owie so a osanso edusubo na akobo Bloomberg say Bloomberg for ene kan o pa say there be that is not actually the issue. Yanko na yen read what is on the screen. Cedi depreciation. Bloomberg crowned the cedi king in May 2025. Then called it a disaster by September. The truth is, Ghana exports raw cocoa and gold, imports everything else, and survives on IMF and World Bank lifelines. The kind of confidence is not, that kind of confidence, is not built on productivity. It is rented, and rent always expires. This is from Professor Isaac Buedo. Enti ono patche say cedi no senia senia bano. Niedi kan na Bloomberg for na no in somewhere May can say Ghana cities no boni homodin nya homodin sesia no konanim asin dollar no mpo. Nenso September no ye ti asem foforo no ba je say asem foforo na ye ti no enye bibi say surprise ye isanse gen Ghana han mo niama mienu pe ene ye de kwa abrochire eye cocoa na sika call gold. We are no fin etonchen a bibi biara akechire bia no ye kra edeba o man bibi biara na ye kra bibi nso a na nintempi no ya na ye ta use dollars ene ye de kra no nti ebema ye sidi na hoden aba fom ye wie nso a na Ghana hafo na nso ye nso ya san ko bobosia bosia chichiri di efri IMF fo ho omu wie nso omu di interest to bosia ye so nti ye tue ni nyina no na chese ye ho ka na adoso nti opa chese senia sidi ne ekoye na akoye ze sebio wako akohandan ewo baabi se ye mfie mienu ne ede ma wo se ye mfie num mpo ne ede ma wo mfie dumpo ne ede ma wo kosoro ba fom se enye wankasangasa wo dia na ye ade a wa han no nko ade emre ni bedu a sa rent na wa rent na high na wa high no sam emre beba ebesa ane dia ubetua bia no ai senia waforo ka watua mate ka se wobesi ewo takrade oye den ku kosoro ba fom wo fin kran krom ha kra na kwa wobedu takrade ho ma wobe den wobesi saa e no pa che se ayesidi no saa na akoye ade a enhye da enni nyina so bi a emu edu eni stability na mom no ade a yehwemu pa anka ye nkrofo bi anka ye nkra nyama bebre emfi amanhodo mu de baga na ha se pa de a ene nka be bo akakra na enso enkankan kra e okobro nya pode na chese nyama no kra asei aka be boso me miensa boso me nan a enche bi ebedi bro nya na se nyama nkofo kra no doso enu nti anu nso ebe affect sidi na hoden se ne ayehu no enti se ne afiti May besi September na nsachira ya abemu no enye bibi a ya surunku bi a yenya yeniama bi a ye no na emma sidi no enyina ne sa professor nso de a wode ba eno no nana enti do you agree with the words of professor or pache say the sidi no ana yesi enche de ni ahoden sa isan say yehwem a nyama mienu pe ne yekra kwa abrochie ni aka ni nyina
sa nyama mienu I think so kan be sambo su bi ma
obo so say gold any cocoa or say we gold any cocoa fi ho no ma Ghana we don't export any other major thing ni aka ni nyina ye import enti we check your export compared to our import akwa say import no great enti affect yesikasem no enti akoye design ya asebi wa hand dan ewo baabi se mfie mienu na wo hand dan na akosoro ba fom ebedu ama ye be pamo Jesus okope baby fufura na se we renew sa rent no sa analogy no and a professor edema ye concerning the Ghana cedi and depreciation.
I think so yesterday when you were doing your presentation one of the major causes are now all cited for causing the cedi to actually fall behind the dollar. Your friend is saying more. Your friend is tariffs.
Yeah.
Tariffs.
Yeah.
I think so that term was economic uncertainty. Okay. And this particular economic uncertainty, this particular issue of tariffs, So as you are saying, so these two major products they call, which is major products they call
cocoa and gold.
Cocoa and gold. So cocoa and gold now so no. And as you see, Ujafo the tariffs are to see. But you food stars like tomatoes, carrots, and you see the and share best cocoa seeds need. They will put taxes on it.
Yeah.
So cocoa only gold, no. Yeah, the 15% flat tariffs are cost.
So
I think so there's still something that can be done about it. But then we've seen this before. I didn't make us maybe a tremu that as one making almost 1,000 years as there was a great man called Dr. Bawumia. And also Okasa and a currency be a $1. After you buy a $20 na for Kasa and also economic pressures after the money cost share Arabia buy in the 1800s and it says COVID-19 so yes it is near way na akoso 1,000 years papa be a course so wanna say Russia Ukraine so it won't be that. So instead of them throwing the blame the bit me true, but then the day post no, and I got to abana amount for no it will be capable to say those are the things I think I will say or instead of they trying to play the blame game here and trying to if anything attack. So a way, try and solve it. Try and solve the issue.
Okay.
That is why I believe Ghana for a MPP.
Okay. You mean the NDC?
Yeah, I'm talking about sorry, the NDC. Yeah.
But don't sure say at least they are trying, if not for anything.
Oh my idea. Oh my, I mean we say DKB Abeka say any crano a yes in 17 cities, which is a very, 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 very good thing.
Exactly.
So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, what we can see here and the Abeka say afini ashasi, the two now you have to go back and re-strategize and see the alternatives.
Yeah.
So that is it.
All right, and a movie on a young concern for first way. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, just say, interestingly, no, near my Okoso Ghana had a baby. for Anunti right from Akwetiano by elections, of course. So, Ghana has a do baby. Akwetia is green, Akwetia is blue, Akwetia is green. Finally, no, Paula don't much no so political strategies, media personality, or no so the politics in a cheaper or patches say there was some timing deficit be a ankosuye on a part of NPP and a MOMU elusu chese elections no drebe sanana cheche mu eche for na omonhu what exactly
okay, so
is
Paul
going
Adomoche or the Nsembia Babe Tuja are explaining the main reasons and one of the major things that caused the defeat of the New Patriotic Party in Akwiti. And surprisingly, no, or Pache said the we are Omukoye campaign now, team and that was what really caused this. In fact, I think some second Japan girl Bianca was here didn't call Yanfa now he really touched on those things and could see some nearby better.
Okay.
As we keep saying, it's different. But the MPP would have had they would have had the togetherness to create a formidable situation. If they had a presidential candidate, say Dr. Bawumia was a presidential candidate, and he's coming with everybody. Everybody's on board. Everybody's working. If candidate Agyapong is a presidential candidate, he's coming with everybody. Everybody's working. But if Dr. Bawumia has to come and leave, and then candidate Agyapong's people have to come as if they were going to file their nominations, you are naturally going to have a difficulty. The problem the MPP had in Akwiti was that if candidate Agyapong is coming over to campaign, he's coming with his people. You might not see a Miracles Abuaje in the candidate Agyapong team that is coming to Akwiti. If Dr. Bawumia is coming to Akwiti to campaign, and apparently from what I'm hearing, there was arrangement by the National Executive that what time does Dr. Bawumia want to come? What time is candidate Agyapong coming? What time is Brian Achampong coming? So that they'll make arrangements for it. And all of them go and address portions of the constituency where they feel that the demographics will favor the message of one candidate or the other. In fact, some of the candidates for the MPP presidential aspirants did not even go to Akwiti. Kwabena Agyapong, for instance, was not seen in Akwiti. The presidential candidates and their inner circles were also making a calculation that going to spend time and money in Akwiti to elect a parliamentary candidate who may not necessarily change much with the situation in parliament, and going to delegates to spend time and money with them, which may occasion votes for our tickets in January, most of them were choosing the latter, which is that they wanted to go and spend time and money with delegates who they can secure to work for them. So a by-election coming in at that time was going to be quite difficult for the NDC, especially for the MPP, especially quite when you are in opposition and the government is probably stronger, a new government with a goodwill and all of that. It was naturally going to be difficult. I recognize this as the most important reason that may occasion the MPP's defeat. And eventually when the defeat came, I thought I was right in recognizing that this was going to be a problem. Now, since the events, you've seen social media, people saying that the candidate was wrong, the choice of candidate was wrong, the candidate should have been Amase, but they didn't use Amase because he's a candidate Agyapong fan. Or they didn't use Amase because he's a Brian Achampong person. These comments are coming out. Right. So that then reflects clearly that the timing was very difficult and complicated for the MPP to mount a formidable campaign to defeat the NDC.
So then do you think that this brings to the fore the whole argument about the timing of the election of a new leader for the party? I mean, you know, in fact, you mentioned that in your commentary, that when the whole issue about electing a standard bearer for the party in January 2026 came up, there were those who were against it and there were those who were for it. So assuming that the party had elected its leader even before the end of the year, you believe the story would have been different? Or if Akwiti had happened next year, for instance?
Well, I don't know whether the story would be different or not. Every election, as we keep saying, is different. But the MPP would have had, they would have had the togetherness to create a formidable situation. If they had a presidential candidate, say Dr. Bawumia was a presidential candidate, and he's coming with everybody. Everybody's on board. Everybody's working. If candidate Agyapong is a presidential candidate, he's coming with everybody. Everybody's working. But if Dr. Bawumia has to come and leave, and then candidate Agyapong's people have to come as if they were going to file their nominations, you are naturally going to have a difficulty. The problem the MPP had in Akwiti was that if candidate Agyapong is coming over to campaign, he's coming with his people. You might not see a Miracles Abuaje in the candidate Agyapong team that is coming to Akwiti. If Dr. Bawumia is coming to Akwiti to campaign, and apparently from what I'm hearing, there was arrangement by the National Executive That what time does Dr. Bawumia want to come? What time is Kennedy Agyapong coming? What time is Brian Achampong coming? So that they'll make arrangements for it. And all of them go and address portions of the constituency where they feel that the demographics will favor the message of one candidate or the other. In fact, some of the
Osno kokuroko ebushia NPP omo pachire say ebeya Ghana fwe baby edru no omo sika no sika de yesi se ne etie no emfa ho se ne etie bia no yusu kra ebesha bebu wo bebre kra na sa na santi no omo wo sika ni bi de nanso eho behia se Ghana fo bi beboa na omatoto ntoboa ede amomo na omatumi dia support party no na party ni so enya ne ntoma pa ede efra eno nti omo de abeto ho se be ya se kakra bi a wo bia ketua bi ensha na de wo odon nsam nso eno de mind se say wo categories of dues a obetumi atua so we Ghana ni ana titiri pa o NPP member pa dia ene bomode ne tua wudi no tumi tua kra ma ne broso kra na omobeje na omadawase yenko share the details of that breakdown no omode amaye no eno nti say for platinum dues no betumi tua 10 Ghana cedi every month to tua 10 Ghana cedi anti within 12 months you would have been paying 120 cedis. And I bet means to etua gold levels. There were different levels. So our gold level now, and then I would 8 cedis per month. 8 cedis per month. You spread it over the year, and then you can pay. Send a baby. A baby say would 8 cedis. Baby to a bin to bet me within the year, not just the way you yourself free home. And our months are to mean gold no so be sure about bet me silver. Your silver package, 5 Ghana cedis per. I said the Audi turbo fruit, 5 Ghana cedis. Utume the tune to boa the boa NPP amanyokuno. And so almost answer what the very last one, a bronze package. Bronze package near Sukita Queens, 2 Ghana cedis. I know so over to me the atun to boa the boa NPP party. No, now almost short code to make everything very simple and very easy. We know a appeal for funds and appeal for dues. Since unim say we NPP ni mapa menu hu fima ne bomodin na tua sa DCBF aboa omo. Na short code no star 920 star 270 hash. No me sure say producer the beto screen no so send e be ya omo ye NPP loyalist or mutie no they will be able to probably send in their contribution. This answer when a free advert and a mom no. Into code ni biom star 92 star 270 hash. Into yenko na yenko share the details of it.